What's up, everybody? Something a little different today. I don't usually do this, but I bought this today and I just thought, well, I'll do a review of it. I'm actually going to do an unboxing right now and show you what's in the box. And then this is what I'm actually going to use to install the wireless charging tray in my Tundra. And then I'll finish up the review of this product after I get that tray installed and I've actually used this a little bit. So now the first thing that I bought was these Dewalt bits with this locking bit holder. This comes in these clamshell packs. I always hate these packs. They're harder to get into. Of course, if you got scissors, it's not as bad, but it's still, like right there, is a little sharp. So let's get this thing out and see how this works. I've used bit holders before, and the main reason I bought this is because nothing's worse than when you're using bits and stuff and they slide out. And that's happened to me a few times in the last few videos and stuff like that I've done. And I got tired of bits falling out, so I bought this Dewalt locking one. Let me see if I can get that to focus. So what it is, you just put this in here and it locks in. Now, will it lock in without actually, yep, you don't even have to pull that back. It just locks in. And there you have it. Now, it did come with these smaller bits like this. I don't know if these actually lock in. Yep, those lock in too. So you can either use the ones like this, or you can use the ones that have the little rib on them, but they both lock in. This is a good way to not have your bits fall out when you're doing videos, or just if you're putting something together. Now, the other thing that I bought to kind of speed up this install was this Dewalt Extreme Subcompact screwdriver. I wanted to get one that was you know, good quality and stuff like that. They had a Black Friday sale on these for like $99, and it may not have been a Black Friday sale, maybe they're just $99. I bought it on a Black Friday weekend, but I wanted to get something that was, you know, dependable and reliable and was good quality and wouldn't break down on me. And this was a little bigger than what I was wanting, but you know, it's still good quality and I won't have to worry about it breaking more than likely down the road. So let's get this thing opened as well and see what's in the box. Okay, so what's in the box is a Dewalt bag. It's always cool when they give you something like this to store this stuff in. Now, this is the 12-volt max lithium version. It comes with a little clip that I never use, a big instruction manual, which I probably won't need. It does come with a charger and also 2 batteries. And like I said, these are the 12-volt, 2-amp batteries. This isn't like a hard use tool. I'm not going to be screwing anything in that's like real difficult. So these batteries are way more than enough to do what I need to do. And if you can see, let me take one of these out. If I can get it out. It does have the little things here on the front that tells you how charged they are. That's pretty cool. I like that, so you can see how much battery life you have left. And then, of course, it comes with the screwdriver itself. So let's put this in here. Look at that light. How cool is that? I mean, that actually puts out a lot of light. That's pretty doggone bright for like just a screwdriver tool. Like it is brushless. It does have forward and reverse, and then a lockout in the middle. And then you have all your settings right here that you can turn it to. Now, of course, I'm going to use like a low setting to actually take these bits and stuff out with. I won't need some high setting for that. It does have your lock-in battery, of course, just like all your other Dewalt stuff does. But this will come in very handy when you're doing jobs like that you normally use a screwdriver for, and it just takes forever to screw that stuff out. This will make the job a lot quicker. And since you can set this, you probably won't strip those out. Now, I've seen some tools that you set down, they won't set up. Of course, this one does set up. You can't see it on camera, but it does set up with no problem. Like I said, this is a little bit bigger. I was kind of wanting one of the smaller handheld ones, but for $99 with 2 lithium batteries, a charger, and a case, I just didn't think you could really beat this, and it's Dewalt quality to boot. So when I get that installed, of course, I'll put up the install video of that wireless charging tray in the Tundra. After I get that installed, I'll come back and tell you how I like this, how well it worked, and just give my overall impressions. Okay, so we're back. Now, I did get a chance to use this quite a bit on different size screws. If y'all remember, it is the Dewalt screwdriver, and this is a little bit bigger, like I said before, than what I was really looking for. I was looking for like one of the little ones that folds, but I'm really glad I bought this. You can see here it has different settings for the clutch, and on setting number 4, I was using some tiny little screws, and that clutch setting was perfect to not strip those screws out. I used this when I did the install of the wireless charger for my Tundra, and it worked perfectly. Like I said, there was 2 or 3 size screws I had to take out on that, and this thing was amazing. Now, I do want to say that I think I still have some of that footage, and if I do, I'll put in the end of this video some of the stuff I didn't add in that video, because I didn't put in the video, you know, about all me taking out the screws or putting the screws back in, because that would have made that video way too long. But in the review of this, I am going to add some of that to show you just how tiny those little screws were, and just how well this thing worked. Now, with some of the bigger screws, I did have to turn the clutch up a little bit because it wouldn't drive them. But of course, that's to be expected, because if you're driving something this big and then you go to something this big, you know, it's going to make a difference. I also want to talk about this light. This thing is crazy bright. Look at that. There's like 3 LEDs and it lights up the whole ring. That is pretty awesome right there. My basement doesn't have the best light, and I was using it in there when I was actually installing that wireless charging tray, and this lit it up enough to where I could see the screw holes and stuff like that. I know the video made it look brighter, but it was kind of dimly lit right there. But that lit it up perfect. But you can see the 3 LEDs right there, there, and there. This thing was pretty amazing as far as that light goes, and made the job very easy. Now, I also want to talk about this little Dewalt quick attach bit holder. This made life very easy as well, because a lot of times, like I said before, when you start screwing in screws, the bit will get stuck in it, and when you pull this back out, the bit will actually stay in the screw instead of staying in the bit. And the way this thing locks in, it worked perfectly with these little bitty bits, and it also worked perfectly with these bigger bits as well. So you can see it locks both of them in, no problems at all. Again, this thing is awesome. I can highly recommend this. It came with 2 batteries and a charger and a bag and the screwdriver for like $99. Now, it's a 12 volt. I didn't need more than 12 volts. I wasn't doing any crazy heavy, you know, screwing in with this or anything like that. But for $99, you can't beat this. And it is brushless. Lithium and brushless. Now, 1 battery lasted me the entire time. You can see that this one's still full, and this one is actually still full. I think I charged the battery after I got done. I think it did get down to like 2 bars, but it never dropped below 2 bars, so it totally worked the full length of time that I was installing that charger. And again, it just made life really easy, and I just can't stress enough, setting number 4 with those tiny little screws was perfect. Drove them down, seated them, the clutch slipped, and it never stripped any one of them. I think there was like 18 of those little screws, and not a single one of them stripped out using this big old gun. I mean, look how big this is. And when I show you at the end some of the footage of me actually screwing those screws in and what screws I was using, it's amazing how low you can set the torque on this and how high you can set the torque on this. So I do want to say I like Milwaukee stuff, but for this, Dewalt for the win. So now I'm going to put in some of the footage where I was screwing in those screws with this, and show you how small they were, and you know how well this thing worked. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get on to the footage. Get this lined up, get it fully seated, and then we'll put these 6 screws back in. just like that. And now all we need to do is reinstall all 18 of these little screws. 18 of these little screws. And finally, we just need to reinstall our latch, and we're ready to reinstall this back into the truck. Okay, now we need to reinstall the cover. And the last one.